Hey guys, welcome to Creek Bowhunting Journal. Today we have a review for you, the PSE Evolve. I've been shooting this bow for the last 2 months, shot a few critters with it, and I'm going to give you my take on this bow. I know I'm a little bit of a Johnny-come-lately, but no bow review is complete until you get the RadNek truth on any bow, so stay tuned.
Red is the color of the trail of success for the hunter who has put in the time and effort to make it happen. And red is the color of grace for the Savior who suffered and died in our place so we could be forgiven.
Alright guys, let me just go over some of the features on this bow. Like I said, I've been shooting this bow now for about 2 months. I wanted to spend a little time getting to know it before I did a review. So here's your RadNek review. First of all, my overall impression of this bow is this is an incredible bow. I'm coming off of shooting the PSE full throttle, and that full throttle has about a 33-inch axle to axle length. But those cams are pretty aggressive and they come way out further. So I needed a bow that would be a little bit easier shooting since I'm getting a little bit older, and also one that I could shoot inside a blind without hitting the top of the blind. So this is a 31 to 31 inch axle bow. This particular model, the Evolve, they sell it in a 28 inch model as well as a 35 inch model. And again, this is the 31 inch model. Just some of the features on this bow that made an immediate difference for me in my accuracy in shooting was just the wide platform that is on this bow. If you notice, this riser is pretty wide, and it's almost like a web feature that they are a web cutout design, and it makes this bow really stable, as well as this yoke system that they have. And this yoke system keeps cam lean from happening. And on the full throttle, that bow is quite a bit more narrow. It's a fast shooting bow, but not near as forgiving as a bow like this. I believe that full throttle is rated at about 370 feet per second. This one is rated at 346 feet per second. The brace height is about 6¼ inches, I believe. What else? Also, the mods on this, it's really easy to switch. All you need is just a little Allen wrench, and you can switch this from 80% to 85% in the middle spot on this mod, all the way up to 90% let off. And it really doesn't affect the valley very much on that when you do adjust it that way. And the speed, as far as the difference between the three settings, is very minimal. We're going to do a speed test in this as well, so you can see what this bow is shooting at. This particular bow, it comes in 60 and 70 pound limbs. These are actually 60 pound limbs. On the full throttle, I was shooting 53 pounds. On this bow, I can actually shoot, since it's a little easier to shoot, I'm shooting at 60 pounds. I do not have any bolt here on the limbs. I don't have that loosened at all. In fact, you've got 10 turns on the limb bolts, or the pocket that holds the bolt that holds the pocket in, and you can actually get it down probably another 5 to 8 pounds underneath that 50 pounds. With the 60 pound limb, same is true for the 60 to 70. You can probably get it down to about 55 pounds, or maybe a little less than that. I'd be careful about unscrewing that too far. Be sure and check your the specs on that, because I don't know how far you can turn that bolt out before you start running into trouble. Draw length comes in it starts at 24½ inches and then goes all the way up to 30-inch draw length. My draw length is set at 29 inches, and that's what I shoot. The mass weight on this bow is right at about 4.3 pounds. And then when you start adding your accessories, you're going to add some weight to the bow. So the bow itself is a little bit heavier than I normally shoot, but it really does, the heavier bow makes for a more stable platform when you're shooting. Also, one other thing before we get to shooting this thing and testing the speed is that PSE has finally started upgrading to this roller on the cable guard, which I really like. It just makes it for smoother shooting. And so let's get to shooting and checking out this bow. All right, guys, we're going to shoot a series of 3 arrows on this test here. But before I do that, I just want to give you a feel for pulling this bow back and what it's like. And I'm comparing this to my PSE full throttle that I used to shoot. And so the difference between a PSE full throttle and the PSE Evolve is kind of like the difference between driving a sports car, if you will, like a Chevy Corvette, as opposed to a Chevy nice Chevy Silverado 4-wheel drive pickup truck. Okay, this would be more like the pickup truck, and the full throttle would be more like the sports car. And so this one here is much easier to shoot. It's smoother on the driving, if you will, or smoother on the pullback, all that kind of stuff. Actually, it's a very, very smooth shooting bow. When you pull it back, I'm pulling back 60 pounds, and you can see that I can hold it out to the side pretty easy and it not move back. And so when you want to pull it forward, actually the full throttle wants to jerk out of your hands. This one definitely does not want to jerk out of your hands. And so I'm letting down, letting down, letting down, letting down. And you can see I can hold it pretty easy, and then until you get it forward about 2 or 3 inches, it doesn't really want to take off very heavy. But yet the speed of the arrow stays up pretty high. Now again, this bow is rated at 346 feet per second. The full throttle's at 370, so you can see why they have to build that bow in a different way to get those kind of speeds out of the bow. But very smooth pulling back bow, and I'm gonna shoot these first 3 arrows at 80 yards. And actually, if you look right there on the screen, that picture right there was the very first 3 arrows that I shot out of this bow at 80 yards. And to be honest with you, I haven't shot that well yet since then either. But this is a very, very accurate bow, and I love shooting this bow. So let's take our first 3 shots and just get a feel for how this bow feels. That one looked pretty good. Very easy to hold back. Once you get it set up by your bow shop. Wow. If I can shoot this arrow like those 2, maybe I will shoot as good as I did on that first one. We'll see. And I haven't warmed up at all. This is my first 3 shots of the day. Let's go take a look. All right, guys, that just might match that first shooting that I did. I'll have to take a look at the picture again. I haven't looked at it in a while, but you can see this bow is dead accurate, man. At 80 yards, these 2 are definitely kill shots. This is marginal. At 80 yards, that's pretty impressive for a bow from a RadNek shooting it, right? But anyways, let's go do some more shooting. All right, guys, this is my second 3 arrows of the day. We moved up to 60 yards. We'll be shooting at 60 yards here on these next 3. All right, let's go take a look. I don't spend a whole lot of time shooting at 60 yards, so I think my pin is off a little bit. But you can see this group at 60 yards, man. That's some serious accuracy on that bow. So anyways, we're looking pretty good at 60 yards. All right, guys, here is our 40-yard test or 40-meter test. just about the same distance. So here we go. 3 arrows. That one might be a little low. Let's go check it out. Rather than being low, I think it was a little high. I felt that when I moved when I released this arrow. But you can see these two, man, this, like I said, this thing is shooting seriously accurate at 40 yards. That's decent shooting. It's not tournament shooting because I'm not a tournament shooter, but I can kill deer with that. So anyways, let's check the speed test on this, and then we'll wrap it up at the end. All right, guys, we're going to be shooting my hunting arrow out of this at 382 grains, and this is 60 pounds. And so we'll see what kind of speed we get out of this with 3 arrows. Here we go. And 285. For a final wrap up of this bow, I am really pleased with this bow. The last, like I said, the 2 months I've been shooting it, I've shot 4 critters with it, 2 raccoons and 2 pigs. In fact, one of the pigs I shot was probably 250, 300 pounds, close to 300 pounds, a big pig. And I shot it at night in the moonlight. I actually could see good enough through my sights to shoot it at night. Perfect pass through, ran about 50 yards and killed over. The other pig I shot was during daylight, and it was about 20 minutes before dark, before the sun, before shooting light ended. And I shot that pig at about 18 yards. The other one was probably about 22 yards maybe. The one raccoon that I did recover that I shot with this was at about 25 yards. And then the other raccoon I shot was about the same, about 25 yards. I never recovered that raccoon. The blood let out after about 50 yards, and he got away. But anyways, this bow is a really sweet shooting bow. I'm looking forward to hunting out of a tree stand with this here in East Texas, as well as in the hill country in a box blind, filming my hunts and just having a good time shooting this bow. It's much easier than the full throttle that I had, much more forgiving, much more simple to shoot. In fact, the full throttle that I did the review on a couple of years ago, year and a half ago or so, I would not recommend that to a beginner, but this bow right here I could recommend to a beginner. PSE did a really good job putting this together, so I'd give this on a 5-star rating. I would definitely give this bow a 5-star. So if you're looking for a new bow this year to shoot, a really easy shooting bow, and also packs a lot of speed, this is the bow for you. You need to check it out at your local pro shop. All right, thanks for watching Indian Creek Bowhunting Journal. Be sure and watch us this year as we go out deer hunting. I've been chasing a big old fallow buck, mostly at nighttime. That's when I shot that pig at night, in the middle of the night with a full moon. But I've been trying to chase this big old fallow buck's been showing up on occasion. Then of course we always have nice big axis bucks that show up on occasion. It's all free range where we're at, so it's hit and miss. It's real hunting. It's not like shooting fish in a barrel, or catching fish in a barrel, if you will. It's real live hunting, so free range and stuff. Anyways, thanks for watching. Be sure and give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll get you all the future videos that we do. Be sure and check out our old ones. We'd love to have you watching. Appreciate it.